What is the big issue in your area? If there was a little bugbear or something out of place, something needed to be fixed, a tree needed to be trimmed or something needed to be tidied in your streets and you had to get in touch with the local council or a local business that wasn't fixing the issue, how would you do it? Would you even bother? Maybe it would be a little bit too much effort for you. Well, there is an app that does it for you, and I've used it before myself. It's called Snap Send Solve, and they've just released the top 3 issues reported in South Australia for this year so far. Danny Gorog is the founder and CEO of the app Snap Send Solve and joins you now. Hi, Danny.
Hi, Stacey. How are you?
Yeah, good. How are you?
I'm really well.
Tell
Sunny
us.
down here in Melbourne.
Oh.
So I'm really well.
Oh, good. Well, I reckon we can beat you. We're about 23 here today.
I don't know what temperature I'm in an office, but I reckon we're probably similar. Maybe a bit cooler.
It's always a bit of, positive rivalry.
State
always
rivalry.
Good. Yeah, always good. All right, tell us, what are the 3 big issues for South Australian snappers?
Yeah, so abandoned trolleys. So when we think about the data, we're talking January to April, and abandoned trolleys is the number one environmental issue as reported through Snaps and Solve, and that's gone up in the same, when we look at the same period last year, it's gone up nearly 78%. And then we've got rubbish and bins, which is things like dump rubbish and litter. That's gone up 57%. And then we've got trees, which we sort of talk about fallen trees, overgrown vegetation, blocking someone's access to a footpath, and that's up 38%. And they're all well above the kind of organic growth rate of the app, which is sort of around 25-30% year on year. So strong growth, and I guess it's a reflection on more people, seeing Snaps and Solve and understanding what it can be used for, but also generally more issues in the community. So, there are more abandoned trolleys. There are more people as the cost for the community goes up to kind of get rid of rubbish. More people are, just putting stuff on the street because they can't afford to take the stuff to the tip. And then just in general, an awareness of, trees and storm damage and stuff causing that to be more of an issue for the community.
I guess the rubbish and the bins didn't really surprise me. Trees didn't really surprise me, but trolleys being number one, I don't know why. Maybe it shouldn't have, but that was a bit of a surprise to me. I didn't think that would have been the number one thing that South Australians reported.
When we look at, the raw numbers across Australia, abandoned trolleys is huge. And it's the big 3 supermarkets obviously are the ones, but there are lots of little kind of, more specialty supermarkets, kind of independent supermarkets who also get picked up in that. But yeah, they're kind of everywhere because, people are like, oh, I'm not going to take the car. I'll just wheel the supermarket trolley down to my house and then just leave it on the nature strip. And they're a real bugbear for the community. Some of the other issues that were issues in South Australia and also around Australia, things like broken playground equipment. There's lower reporting volume, but still an increase of 55%. Illegal parking cars has also gone up a lot. So I think it's reflective of the way Snaps and Solve works, which is it's a free app that the community downloads and they can use it to report any issues, well, most issues they see, whether they're council related, whether they're water authority related or power authority or trolleys or, damaged telco pits, so Telstra or NBN and Optus, etc. So it's the one app and we use your location and your incident type to work out who the right solver is. And so we'll package all that information up into a neat package that we can then send across to the solvers so that they can get on and fix the issue. And, one of the reasons we see huge growth is because stuff actually gets fixed. On average, around 9 out of 10 issues get fixed with Snaps and Solve. We hear that back from our snappers. And it's a great tool for the community. And I think that's why we're seeing the huge growth and adoption.
Yeah. And like I said, I've used it. I've got the app, have had it for a number of years, and I really enjoy using it because, like you said, it's free. It's easy to use. And in my situation, we were just, walking our dog, local park. There's a water station there where you can have a drink out of the fountain yourself, out of the top, or you can press the tap at the bottom and there's a little bowl for, the dogs to use. And it was just like super low water levels, really, really soft, wasn't coming out. It was almost impossible for a human to drink it. I'm talking about the human part, not the dog part, but almost impossible unless you put your whole mouth around it, which yuck, no one's doing that, especially post-COVID. So I took a photo of it, put it in the app, just wrote a little description. Like, it doesn't need a lot of work. You just need to take a photo and say what the issue is. And I would have thought in that moment, if I was going to do it or make a complaint or, just let the council know that was an issue, that it would have been a council issue. So I would have, if I was doing it myself, I would have done the runaround, spoken to the council, sent an email, all of that. And then it got fixed and I got a response in the app saying, SA Water has responded to your issue and it says it's resolved. Can you confirm or deny it's resolved? And I thought, it was SA Water, of course. But I didn't immediately think that. So for me, it was really good that the app did it for me because I don't have the time to be running around.
Yeah, well, a couple of things, and you're spot on. So we have built for the solvers what we call a reassign feature. And so if a report gets to a solver, so let's say it gets to a council and it's not for them, with a couple of clicks, they can then reassign that to the correct authority. And they are often the best place to know whose responsibility it is. So that's great. And then as a snapper, you get kind of informed along the process that the report has been reassigned, and then the new solver can then fix it, fix it and let you know. The other thing I'll say is one of the very powerful things that we've done with Snaps and Solve is made it really easy to take that photo and send the photo. And when we talk to councils and water authorities who've got their own reporting channels, they might have a website or a phone number, it's very complicated to upload a photo to a website. Most people can't do it, and they certainly don't want to do it when they're on their mobile phones with a coffee or a dog leash in another hand. Yeah. Very hard to do. And you definitely can't do it on a phone. If you were to call a council and try to describe a problem to them, it's impossible to give them a photo over the phone. So, and it's also impossible to give them an exact geolocation. So they're two things that Snaps and Solve provides. And I guess the last thing I'd say, Stacey, is that what we find is people don't have, like when people listen to this today, right now, they might not see an issue, but what we do is we encourage people to download the app, have it on your phone, so that when you're walking around and you do see an issue, you can be the eyes and the ears. And really, I think it's very empowering for the community to be able to report these things when they see them. And it's just so good for the solvers to have a network of people out in the community, letting them know when things are wrong so they can take their responsibility and go and solve the issues and really improve the amenity for communities everywhere. That's what we're trying to do with Snaps and Solve.
Yeah. And like you said, it was so easy. I almost finished the report by the time we got home from that walk in the moment. And I can imagine, we can be complainers sometimes. If there's something annoying, the trees at the moment out the front of my house are extending over the power lines a little bit. It's getting a bit annoying. I thought, I don't want to be a burden. I'm not going to get in touch with the council about that. They've got a billion other things they're worried about. That's fine. But with this, you kind of you do it and it's not like, this is super urgent, I need it fixed. I'm sure it'll get on their list. I'm sure they'll get to it when they can. And if they don't, you can go again. You can send it a few times.
Well, you can. You're right. And so, Snaps and Solve is for non-urgent issues. For urgent issues, it is definitely worth, getting in touch and calling if that's what they require. But, they're used, the solvers are used to getting lots of reports from lots of different sources. And so they will triage the report based on the information they have and the need for the community. So, I think it sort of pays just to if you see something, get in the habit. And we have a lot of regular snappers. They've used it once or twice and they just see something, they report it. They don't expect that the issue is going to be resolved, in 24 hours, although sometimes it does get resolved. And it's like, look, I'm making a small contribution to the community. I'm making my community a better place. And, for things like, my reflection is, trip hazards are a big issue for me. So if I can kind of identify a trip hazard, like maybe the concrete in the pavement's not right, maybe I can save someone else from having a fall and hurting themselves.
Yeah.
The genesis of Snaps and Solve actually came from me when I took my young son to a park, a playground, and he loved going on the swing, and the swing was broken and he just had a tantrum. And how do I get this fixed? Because I don't want to come to the park again and have my kid, who should be really happy at the park, have a tantrum because he can't go on the swing. So, I think we built a great tool.
Yeah.
It's resonating really well with the public, and we've got lots of plans on how we can improve it and make the reporting process even faster and smoother and provide more information to the solvers. So that's the journey we're on, and I'm really proud of what we've built, and it's great to see South Australia in particular, one of our fastest growing states, where I think we'll probably do over 50,000 reports this year, which is kind of,
that's
doubling
awesome.
every couple of years, which is great.
It's really good to hear that's how it all came about. And now, even just looking at the app and like I said, you interact with lots of different local councils and SA Water and Telstra and NBN and all of that. Danny, I don't know if this is an inappropriate question, but it's a free app. So how do you make money?
Yeah, it's a good question. So it is a free app, and we provide reports for free in unlimited quantities to every council in Australia, plus all those other solvers. And then there are some solvers who get a lot of reports, and we have some tools that we've built for them which make it a bit more efficient for them to put the reports into their systems that they use. They can customise questions. They can ask a bit more detailed questions. They get data and reporting, so we've got a very extensive, rich data source that they can tap into. So there are a range of features, and so what we call that's called an enterprise subscription, and we have lots of councils and solvers around Australia who subscribe to that. But as I said, it's a free service, so we're really content if all we do is provide the free information. That's great, because we think it adds a lot of value.
Okay, will you ever put a cost on there? You're not going to start charging us to send photos?
No, that's not definitely not the intention. I mean, we've got some private organisations who also use it. So down here in Melbourne, for example, Melbourne University are a big user of Snapshot Solve, and that's a commercial. Like we don't offer that for free. And we've got some caravan parks, and we've got some shopping centres and stuff. So it's a tool that's pretty flexible and does get a lot of use in the community. So that's sort of the way that we think about commercialising it. And also, as reporting volume grows throughout the council network, I think it does make more sense for councils to kind of be more efficient with this stuff. But definitely no plans to take away the freeness of the product. Okay,
good. That's good. Yep. I'm glad to hear it, Danny.
And that's right. So we've been going for over 10 years now, Stacey. So I think we've built something the community really like, and I think we're adding a lot of value. So absolutely, that's not our intention.
Yeah, good. Well, like I said, anything that can make our lives a bit easier and save us a bit of time, I am all for. Thank you so much for your time today, Danny. Really appreciate it.
Great. Nice to chat to you again.
Yeah, you too. That is Danny Gorog, founder and CEO of Snap Send Solve.